Well, we got in our Chapter 4 Defying the Odds trailer today, and if there was a trailer that was much needed to help resurrect some excitement back into the Battlefield community, this was definitely it. It confirms a lot of stuff that has been leaked, get a little bit of a tease of what will be happening in Chapter 5 at the very end of this trailer that we'll talk about here shortly. But let's not waste any more time and jump into what we saw. This probably could have been titled just maps, given that how many maps were being showcased here, especially right at the start. The first map we see titled is Province. This looks like it should be one of the 5 vs 5 maps, given that these were described as an urban styled map. We see a lot of heavy close quarter combat gameplay, and we don't see any vehicles. And even though in the past there have been 32 vs 32 player maps that have had no vehicles, I'm guessing this is still one of those 5 vs 5 maps. We get a first look at the new MAB 38 machine gun that we'll be able to get to unlock in Tides of War coming up here pretty soon. And overall get a really good feel of some intense, fast-paced infantry gameplay. Next, we have a clip of Lofoten Island. Now, I'm going to be assuming a lot here, like how to pronounce that name, but I'm guessing this is another 5 vs 5 map. We don't have any other details besides what we're seeing in this trailer as of right now, so I'm guessing we'll find out more information during EA Play. But my reasoning for it being another 5 vs 5 map is we don't see any vehicles, and we see more of that fast-paced infantry-style gameplay. But the terrain here and how the map looks with the buildings is very Firestorm-like. It clearly isn't Firestorm, so for those who were hoping to see some Firestorm-inspired maps make it into the base version of Battlefield 5, well, it looks like you're going to get that. It all looks very much so in its own style, despite it being very similar, like with how the buildings look. You can look into the background and see a warship, and just the mountains too look absolutely amazing. I can't tell if this little island is all that the map is, but it clearly is not something that was just taken out of Firestorm and taken out like a small version of the map and just made for us to play in the base version of Battlefield 5. This is its own thing, so this is really cool, regardless if it's only a 5 vs 5 map. But again, we'll have to wait and see during EA Play to probably find out more information on what's going on here. We then get to see images of the Marina Map. This is for sure a 32 vs 32 player map that will be the counterpart to the recently dropped Mercury map. So in modes like Grand Operations, these two maps will be paired next to each other. It has a very fall-like theme with how the trees look. It reminds me a lot of the Tyrael campaign in Battlefield 5. It's described in a road map as taking place along the mountainside overlooking a river, with ambient war from the ongoing conflict in the valley below echoing alongside you. Next, we see a pleasant surprise and confirmation on the most recent leaks about a possible new map under description Sand and Sea. This is titled Al Sudan and definitely doesn't look like another 5 vs 5 map. It looks pretty big in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people out there who aren't too hyped up about the 5 vs 5 map, so another 32 vs 32 player map in my opinion is a really big deal. It reminds me of another campaign as well, Under No Flag, with all the whole desert-like landscape and the water as well. This map again looks pretty big, but not bigger than Hamada, but big enough to have featured a lot of vehicle gameplay in the trailer. What's interesting to note is we do see planes taking off from a runway, so that is pretty cool. Again, I'm liking the whole water sand theme here, and I can't wait to find out more about this map, but I'm assuming we'll find out more details about this during EA Play. Alright, now we get a title screen saying coming in October, Operation Underground. Now, October should be the very last month of Chapter 4, and in the trailer it cuts to a brief clip of being down in a subway, battling it out in a very linear style map, and I absolutely have no clue what's going on here, but it definitely looks pretty intense. It is another map, so I'm all cool with that. Definitely doesn't look like another 5 vs 5 map, just by the looks of it, and by the title of the game mode. It's called Operation Underground, so we get the sense of the Operation game mode here, but it's clearly not the same game mode, and I'm guessing that maybe we'll be seeing a smaller operation mode, and to make up for having less players, you'll put them in a smaller size linear style map. But that's just my guess. We don't really know any more information than what we're seeing here in this very brief clip, so maybe we'll get a little bit more details during EA Play, but this is much further down the line, as this is again during the end of Chapter 4. And finally, we make it to the very end of the trailer. We get some pretty cool stuff here that confirms what we were all hearing about, that there was going to be a Pacific Theater of War coming in Chapter 5. And we get a look of a Japanese soldier with a Japanese flag right behind him, with a full-on Navy fleet in the ocean. This is confirmation of all the leaks we were hearing, that there will definitely be a Pacific Theater of War coming out in Chapter 5. So I'm guessing the whole works here with naval vehicles and everything. It's a super brief clip, and for those who were waiting to see the American soldiers show up, well, there you go right there. As we see an American soldier who comes charging in, meleeing the Japanese soldier. So intense stuff, but exciting stuff as well. Good to see a lot of these leaks finally being confirmed from DICE. Even though we pretty much knew they were coming out, it's good to see DICE actually confirm it themselves. So really cool stuff. Be sure to be checking back here on this channel during EA Play, as I'm going to be looking at every little detail of what DICE says to pull out any more information that we can get about this trailer and all the new stuff coming out. Good stuff overall, though. A lot of maps. Hopefully there's more, you know, who knows. But that is basically it for you guys today. Always appreciate you guys being here. I'm Livin'. I'll catch you guys again later.